Let's find out from Ingrid Seward what's going on. Ingrid, very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Very good to see you. Extraordinary times that we live in. Prince Harry deciding not to bother turning up yesterday seems to have slightly upset the judge, who said he was surprised that the Duke of Sussex didn't bother to come to his own trial. He's turned up today. He's going to face a pretty tough old time, I would think, isn't he?
I think he will, especially because the judge made it quite clear that he wasn't very happy about Harry's no-show, if you like, yesterday. Yeah. So Harry will have to be very contrite and apologetic, and I don't know if those things come naturally to him.
I was going to say, not something he's known for, is it?
No. But I think he really has to eat humble pie here, because it's going to be very tough for him. He's never been in this situation before. He will never have been spoken to the way in which he will be spoken to. He's got to give concise answers, and then he will be cross-examined. What he's trying to do is he's trying to provide evidence, or the court are going to want him to provide evidence of why he thinks he was hacked. Because, of course, the Mirror are saying, well, no, he wasn't hacked. This is just circumstantial. All these things. So Harry's got to prove that, and it's going to be very difficult to prove it because he's got no evidence.
Right. Well, I mean, I think the barrister representing the Mirror was quoted over the weekend as saying that he's going to rip his arguments to shreds because he doesn't have any evidence. And, you know, unfortunately for Harry, he's emerging out of all of the most recent kind of publicity stunts as a rather spoiled, rotten individual who doesn't like him and he doesn't get his own way.
He certainly is emerging like that. But I think he'll have a lot of public sympathy today because nobody would want to be in that position. And I think he's quite brave to take on the media in this way. I think he's very brave. Maybe, I mean, his father thinks he's on a hiding to nothing. But it is possible that if Harry presents himself well and answers properly and well, which is going to be very difficult to do under cross-examination, he might just win this. He might win some damages. I know that's not the point, but he might just win this. So I don't think we want to be too dismissive. I think it's going to be very, very unpleasant for him, though.
Oh, no, I don't wish to prejudge the events that are about to happen inside the courtroom, but the point is that he has proven himself over the course of the last 2 years since he left the House of Windsor, if you like. You know, he's got a litany of interviews that were done, some of which he revealed things which were later dismissed, some of which he told stories on which were very, very invasive of other people's privacy. I mean, for example, today he's likely to be asked questions about some of his former girlfriends, you know, and he'll be invading their privacy by answering them.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult for him. Especially, I mean, legally, you can't coach your client. So in America, you can. So, you know, if this case was being held in America, Harry could be coached by his lawyers as to how to answer, what to answer. But that is not the case in this country. So he will have been advised, but he can't have been coached what to say. So this is all going to be completely new to him.
Yeah. Well, this is it. I mean, you know, if he was in America, he could opt, presumably, not to take the stand at all. But having opted to take the stand, he then has to answer all the questions that are put to him.
Yes, I mean, the thing that might be slightly in his favour, I know it's very different, is the fact that he has had, you know, he has been in the army and he's had an army training, and part of that army training is to have a sort of fake, grueling interview where they throw insults at you, and Harry got through that. So at least he's got that under his belt, but I don't think he's got much else.
Well, he's facing a man by the name of Andrew Green, who's a King's Counsel called to the bar when the Duke of Sussex was 4 years old. He took silk 13 years ago and is known as the Beast. So, I mean, he's certainly picked a right adversary, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But, I mean, maybe this will spur Harry on and you know, he'll find some corner of him that really wants to fight and win and be determined. I think he is very determined, but I think it's the cross-examination that's going to be so uncomfortable. So you've taken drugs, sir. So did you go to this pub before, sir? How do you know? You know, they're going to really not be very pleasant to him, I feel.
Well, I mean, my question would be, are you still taking drugs? When was the last time you took drugs? I mean, that would be an interesting one.
Yeah, I'm sure they will probably ask that.
And my other one would be, you know, did you lie when you told Oprah Winfrey that a member of the royal family had asked a racist question about your soon-to-be-born child?
Would that be relevant?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, of course
Yes.
it's relevant. Everything's relevant because you would, if you were a lawyer and a barrister, and I know quite a few of them, you would wish to make it clear that this is a man not to be trusted, a man who has spoken untruths before, a man who's made stuff up and then run away from it 100 miles an hour, as he now never mentions it and now says that it was the British press that invented the racism line. You know, this is a guy who has not been truthful in the past, and if you're not truthful in the past, as we know from the Philip Schofield episode, we can't trust you to be truthful in the future.
I mean, my other worry is that Harry won't remember. I mean, for a start, he was very, very young. I think the first instance is the Michael Barrymore letters, which he's trying to say that his mum's phone was hacked.
Yeah.
But because of that, but Michael Barrymore could have told anyone, and Diana could have told anyone. She had a lot of friends that she used to reveal very intimate things to. So that's going to be hard for him. And I think that his memory isn't great. Well, it may be because he has, as by his own admission, let us say, he has taken a lot of drugs. So that will have impaired his memory.
Yes.
And also he's probably jet lagged and nervous. So I think, but I do think he will have sympathy from the public because they'll see him there as being very vulnerable. And also the public...
I'm not sure that's true anymore, Ingrid, you know. The public that I speak to and that I see around and about have no time for him anymore, and the coronation was kind of the final straw. Here was a guy who came in as if he was kind of almost a spare part at the wedding. He didn't seem to have any role. He didn't look as if he was in the right place. He didn't bother hanging around to even see members of his family who clearly have had enough of him because of the things he's done to them, the things he's said to them and said about them. I don't think he's got any sympathy in this country at all anymore.
I think, I agree with that, but I think on this day, in these circumstances, I think he will, because very, very few of us have ever been to court, and let alone been cross-examined by someone like Green, who you say is the beast. Yeah. So I think from a sort of human kind.
Yeah, but he's only there because he wants to be. He's the one that brought the case.
Oh, absolutely. No, I quite agree with that. But I actually feel sympathy for him myself, and normally I'm you know, not that sympathetic.
You're far too nice, Ingrid. I think that's the trouble. You're just a nice individual. Hey, this is not a man that deserves anybody's sympathy. He has trashed his entire family. He's thrown his own brother under the bus. He's revealed details of conversations that if members of your family had done that, you would be absolutely hideously annoyed with them.
This is true, and I would never speak to them again. But I have a feeling that, you know, obviously, as a father, the king, you know, has to will have huge sympathy with Harry. But whether or not they've spoken, I don't know. I'm sure Charles is on his way back from Transylvania, if he's not back already. But I feel that he would have told Harry, this is not a wise thing to do. You're putting yourself in a very, very uncomfortable and difficult position.
And we're told this is going to go for about 7 weeks. I presume he's not going to be here for 7 weeks, but I assume he's going to be here for a while.
He's going to be in court for all of today and maybe half of tomorrow, maybe all of tomorrow. That is a huge amount of time to be in court.
Yeah, it really is. But I just wonder whether he's going to schlep back to America, whether he's going to hang around for a while, whether he's going to take the opportunity to see his family, whether he's going to have any words of kind of comfort for them, whether he's going to be welcomed with open arms, whether he's going to be shunned. You know, the problem is he's making himself the story all the time.
He certainly is, yes, and never more so than today.
Yeah, and I just feel, if I feel sorry for anybody, I feel sorry for his dad, for his brother, for his nieces and nephews, for his family, who he doesn't bother seeing anymore, who he clearly doesn't like, or maybe he does, but he's kind of alienated them all. You know, it's a very sad situation for everybody.
It is a sad situation, and could be very much sadder by the end of today. But I think, you know, and also this is such a big story now. So again, the story is Harry, and it's brought all his past up again,
right?
And you know, and his mother and all the things that are hurtful. He is saying that the press really basically ruined his entire life, which is not the case.
I mean, for a man who says that he's been sort of saved by therapy, it doesn't look that way, does it?
No, but we don't probably quite understand the kind of therapy that he's been through.
No, I don't understand his life at all. But I'm pretty sure it's not as bad as he's making it out to be. But there we are. Ingrid, good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Ingrid Seward there, royal biographer, of course, editor of Majesty magazine.